My name is Ayeshna Singh, and I'll be discussing the problem solution for today's contest. And the problem that I'll be discussing will be Culprit 2. Okay, so here's how we go about with it. Culprit 2 is having this as the statement. Find the second year student in the first year batch. Okay, SE students are assigned roll numbers which are prime numbers greater than 100. You need to keep this in mind. Prime numbers also which are greater than 100. Okay, print the index of the array where the SE students are located, and the roll number of a SE student can repeat. So we'll have to print the index of the array where we have such kind of a number which is prime as well as greater than 100. Okay, so the input format will be, first line will be taking the test cases which will be denoted by variable t, and in each test case we'll be inputting the size of the array, or we can even say the length of the array, which is denoted by the variable n. The second line will contain the elements of the array. Here are some constraints, and the output format should be, we'll have to print the indices, that is the position of the array where we find prime numbers which are greater than 100. And if the array does not consist any of that, we'll have to print -1 as specified in the question. Sample input, let's check that. First is the T, that is the test cases. We'll be having 3 test cases. This simply means that we'll be having 3 different type of arrays. Okay, and we'll be having respective outputs for that. So the first line was test cases represented by variable t. The second line was 5. This denotes that the first array will be having the length 5, and these are the elements that will be there in the first array. This represents that the second array will be having the length of 4, and the elements of the second array will be such. This represents the third array will also have the length as 4, and these are the elements of the third array. And the output should be such. The first array is having prime numbers greater than 100 at the indexes 0 and 2. The second array is having prime numbers at the indices 1 and 3. And the third array is not having any prime number which is greater than 100. Hence, it is printing -1 as specified in the question over here. If it doesn't exist, print -1, okay? So I've written the code in Java. You can write the code. You can choose your language from here. Can be C, C++, or any language, Python, Kotlin, anything, PHP. Okay, so over here, public class solution is the name given to the class, and I'm using scanner SC to input the values from the keyboard, and here I've specified integer type t, which will be taking the number of test cases from the keyboard, and we are running the loop of test cases. Over here, the first line is stating that we'll be mentioning how many elements will be there inside the array. That is, we are specifying the length of the array. Using this statement, we'll be declaring the array. This is used to declare an array which is having the name ARR. ARR is the name of the array, having the length n, okay, and type integer because int is written. Now we'll be running a loop, for loop, okay. In that for loop, we are starting from 0 and we are going until n. That is the length of the array. And over there, we are inputting some values. We are taking the input of elements. Now, over here, we can see array list integer ANS is find culprits array. This is nothing but we are calling the find culprits method. Okay, find culprits method is being called. And in that, we are passing ARR, and we'll be storing that ARR into a new array list answer. This is the declaration, okay? Declaration. For int I is answer system.out.print I. This is the format of printing. Now let's check the Boolean method. This is a method, Boolean method. Boolean method means that it will return either true or false. And the name that we have given is check prime. As the name suggests, this method will help us check if the number is prime or not. And we are passing the value integer n, okay? We'll be passing the number as n. So here we have stated a conditional statement wherein we are checking if the number is less than or equal to 100, because our question required that the number should be greater than or equal to 100. So over here, we are removing the possibility of numbers that are less than 100. So this will return false, okay? If this condition is false as in if the number is greater than 100, then it will come over here. Okay, so if the number is greater than 100, then this for loop will be running. In this for loop, we are having that int I is 2. That is, the index will be starting from, the iteration will be starting from I is equal to 2. And it will go up till the square root of the number, one step by step. Okay, 1 plus 1. I plus plus is nothing but I is equal to I plus 1. So over here, we can see if n modulus I is equal to 0. Over here, what we are doing is we are dividing the number n. Okay, this n, we are dividing it by every value of I. Because what we'll be doing is we'll be checking the remainder. We have to see that there should not be any number existing other than 1 or the number itself, because prime numbers are only those numbers which can be divided by themselves and 1. Okay, if it is getting divided by any other number, then it is not a prime number. That's the condition of prime numbers. So we are checking modulus helps us find remainder. If the number is getting divided by any other number and we are getting the remainder as 0, then that number is not prime. So will be returning false. If this is not coming out to be 0, like if it is having some remainder, then return true, because that is a valid prime number. So now we'll be stating static array list integer find culprits int array. Over here, we are writing an array list integer answer. So what happens over here is array list. And a new array list is being created by the name ANS. Okay, answer is the new array list wherein we'll be passing some elements. And how we'll be passing that elements? We'll be running a loop first. First, we'll be running a loop starting from 0, going up till the length of array ARR. Over here, we had specified array ARR. We had taken input into the array ARR. Okay, so we'll be going up till the length of that array ARR, and we'll be calling the function check prime. If check prime ARR I, we'll be passing the values at I, and then we'll be calling function check prime. Where was check prime? Check prime was here. We'll be calling this again and again. Calling this in the sense the control will go from here to here. Okay, and then this functioning will be carried on. This functioning will be carried on, and the result, these return statements, will be passed on over here. If it will be true, then it will be passed on over here. If it will be false, if this will be false, all these values and calculations will be passed on over here. And ans.add I. Okay, so what happens is this will be passed over here, then we'll be having input of some values, and then that value will be added to the ANS array, the new array list that we just created over here. The elements which will satisfy these conditions of prime number as well as greater than 100 will be added to a new array ANS. If ans.size equal to 0, as in it means that if there is no possibility of any prime numbers existence inside the array, we'll be putting ans.add -1 as specified in the question. If there is no such prime number greater than 100 present in the array, we'll be printing -1. So we have created an array ANS wherein we are adding -1 if there is no existence of any prime number greater than 100, and then we'll be returning ANS. So this is the code for the question, and I'll try to run the code. Yeah, so let's try submit it. Yes, so all the test cases pass. That's the answer. I hope you enjoyed the solution and found it helpful. If you did like it, please like, share, and subscribe TCT Shastra, and follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram as well. Thank you so much. Have a great day.